I think as a designer, if you understand different elements of AI and what it can do for you in your industry, in the industry, in your business, and you make a choice to either use it or not, then that's a very different thing. You're not getting left behind because you understand and you've made the conscious decision to go, I love doing this bit of design. I'm going to continue to do that, because then what that does is that comes across to your clients. It comes across in everything you do, that's the particular area you're passionate about. And that then becomes your USP essentially, doesn't it? And that's your kind of your thing that people love about you.
Welcome to another episode of the Beyond Interior Design podcast. And today we're diving into a topic that's reshaping our industry: artificial intelligence. With the digital landscape evolving daily, AI tools are becoming indispensable. Yet they can also be overwhelming. How does this make you feel? Excited? Skeptical? Or a bit of both? Join us as we explore the vast world of AI with our special guest, Dawn Scott. Dawn is a true color specialist and interior designer with over 20 years of experience, and she currently works as a senior color designer and inclusive design consultant for Akzo Nobel. And Dawn is deeply passionate about advancing the field of interior design, exploring new technologies and techniques. As she puts it, it fuels my creativity and puts fire in my belly. Well, unpack how AI is both a tool and a challenge, and what it means for the future of interior design. Whether you're an AI enthusiast, a cautious observer, or just trying to figure out where to start, this episode is crafted for you. Let's demystify AI together and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in interior design. Let's roll. Here she is, Dawn Scott.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank
Yeah,
you
you
for
have
having me.
a
Mm,
full colorful background: interior design, color
mm.
specialist, inclusive design, AI. So I think you're just following your heart on that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think AI has been something that I only kind of learnt about maybe 18 months ago from a casual conversation with my sister who works at a university. And I was kind of like, well, what is it? I didn't understand. I didn't have a clue what it was. And she told me about one particular kind of piece of software that I then started to look at, and I was just like blown away of like, this is incredible. Like how, and it was a software, a software. I never know whether to call them software or a bot or a platform.
Or an app
Excuse me.
or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
yeah.
terminology is still kind of quite loose about it, and I think everybody just kind of says AI and it's this big thing. But it was Mid-Journey is one of the things that my sister told me about, which is an image generator. And I guess it's one of those things that until you've experimented with it, you don't fully understand how fantastic it can be, because somebody might show you the output, which is an image, which is really nice, and you might go, oh, they're lovely images, or oh, wow, they're amazing images. But when you go through the process of how you created it from a text prompt, that for me was the whole like, oh, hold on a minute, this is
Magic.
this is going to change. And that was the point where I thought, this is going to change the interior design industry and lots of others, because it is just exactly that, magic. It felt like magic. It felt like, oh wow, this is incredible, you know. And so I think that's it. I think that's the journey I went on, which then made me go, other designers need to know about this. Like interior designers need to know about this, because this is going to change how we work. And at that time, I only thought it was around image generation. I thought that, and I already knew that that was going to be a big impact on the industry, but I only thought it was image generation. And then, you know, chat GPT, which I'll talk about some of these because I feel like I've gone straight in, but just to say, like, this was my journey. I then started to look at chat GP, which is a chat bot, a text bot essentially. And then when I started experimenting with that and seeing how just that, so just two pieces of AI, that Midjourney and chatbot, I was like, this is going to change everything. And then of course it has, and it continues to, and now it's everywhere, and it's this whole thing, everybody is talking about it, and you're just like, like I can see how people will feel kind of either overwhelmed. I think there's probably three, as you touched on in your intro, there's probably three kind of feelings about it. There is the embrace it, which is kind of what I did, of like, oh, let's the curious, let's investigate it, let's see what it is. And then there is the people that probably fear it, and I feel like that's probably something to do with the name of it. So AI, artificial intelligence. Everybody that I've spoke to that kind of may fear it has some preconceived idea about artificial intelligence, and
Yeah,
some of that,
that's why I think you need to be here. Hey, you are here today, Don,
yeah,
because this might, for our listeners, for our community, the first real moment to shape your honest opinion about
yeah,
AI,
yeah,
because we do see it on our timelines, on
yeah,
Instagram, LinkedIn, all the socials. Maybe you're just continuing your daily life and you feel like you're missing something, or do I need to start with it, but you don't know what it is, how to start. So this is, I think, the take this opportunity. That would be my
yeah,
gift to you, to use this podcast for you when you're listening right now, watching the live here. Yeah, take this chance to shape your honest opinion about AI, because it can change your perspective.
mm,
Um, well, there's a big chance that you're going to like it. If you
yeah,
don't like it yet,
yeah, yeah,
you hear
yeah,
Dawn, you are so enthusiastic about it, and you are an interior designer, you're a color specialist,
yeah.
and you know how you can use this stuff. So, but well, first of all, how do you stay updated with this rapid developments in AI? Every day it
It's
looks
tricky.
more, better, faster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I think it's I think we should probably also maybe put it into context as well. So kind of
Yeah,
for me, I kind of like a bit of a story. So if we kind of go back to the beginning of kind of the various kind of advances we as a civilization, a human race, have had over the years, and over the last however many years, 100 years, couple of 100 years, we've had various kind of advances in technology, for want of a better word, that have helped us, and kind of gone along the way. So for example, it might have been originally like water power and using water, like way back hundreds of years ago, that then developed into steam power that helped with things like railways and all sorts of other things. The industrial revolution, and I always think, can you imagine living in those times and somebody said, oh, we found a way to use water to create steam that's going to power all these things? You'd been like,
yeah,
oh, no, like you would have been having that same sort of feeling, because we do fear what we don't know. So but these things have gone before, so we've had that, we had the advancement of electricity. And again, you already hear stories of people saying, oh, the first time electricity was put into a house, people were like, oh, no, give me my gas, give me my candlelight, give me whatever. So again, we go through that, but then from electricity we have electronics, and from that we then developed into computers and digital networks and the internet. And I'm old enough to remember a time before the internet, and
yeah, me too. I'm 40
yeah,
right now, so we couldn't call at home because somebody was on the internet and you were chatting with
yeah,
somebody somewhere
yeah,
with the
exactly.
strange voices and sounds when you had to call it to
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
remember having a conversation with someone the other side of the world, and my mind being blown that we were in I think it was they were called chat rooms, essentially.
yeah,
What we're doing now was called chat rooms. And I remember being in a conversation with somebody who was in America, and being, again, my mind being blown that we were both talking online. So again, the internet came, emails came, and again, people would have been saying before emails, I'm not going to use emails, I'm going to use traditional post and letters, and I'm going to continue to send letters in the post. And I'm sure people do that, and people still do that with greetings cards and, all that sort of stuff. We do still use the post a little bit, but the majority of our conversations is emails. And then, the mobile phone, text messages. Again, I can remember having a mobile phone. Nobody did text messages. It was just literally a phone you could call from somewhere else. It didn't have all of this
Hmm.
functionality. And again, people being like, what, you can text another person on a phone somewhere else, and again, it all developed, but we've kind of forgotten that. We've kind of just recognize where we are now, and smartphones and technology and everything is what it is, but we forget that all of these waves of technology have come before, and people would have been cautious and apprehensive along the way, but of course lots of people embraced it, so that's
Yeah,
why
and
we've
it
got to
has
where we are.
in all these media types of technology or just the old-fashioned way, they do have their own charm. They still
Yeah,
do have. Eh? When you're
yeah,
sending a postcard, it has
yeah,
so much meaning nowadays
yeah,
because somebody took the time, the effort to write by hand.
yeah,
Then it's
yeah,
even a more magical letter, but it still keeps its charm, but you need to use it in the right way. And there are really
absolutely.
effective and functional ways and even better ways to do the same in a new way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think it's about efficiencies as well. And exactly that. It's perfectly charming and acceptable and pretty impressive if you got a postcard that someone took the time to purchase it, write it, put a stamp on it. I mean, do
Hmm.
all of that stuff, find a postbox, send it to you. Like you say, there is something beautiful about that. But for the majority of our communications, that's laborious now. We kind of we have moved on. So I think that's a good thing to say, that with AI, I feel the same. And we'll come on to talk about some different types of AI and how it can benefit designers. But I think there will be some parts of our roles that we still do for that very reason, because it still has value, it still has meaning, and when we do those smaller parts with more heart and soul, then
Yeah,
it means
that's yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes it might feel that we are selling our souls with
yeah.
AI.
Yeah, yeah. But I
That
think,
yeah.
yeah, I'd say as well, just kind of touching on the kind of the development and where we've come from. So 30 years ago, again, sadly, I'm old enough to remember these sort of things. When, from a design perspective, Photoshop was introduced in 1990. Again, it was a new thing. You look at it and now, and everybody can use it. AutoCAD was originally introduced in 1982. And again, as designers, pre that, you would have been doing hand drawings. And now, lots of designers can use AutoCAD. But again, some of us still like to do those hand drawings and hand sketching because we know the value that it brings, and also the passion. If that's our passion, then we like doing that. So I think they're two kind of the design tools. And I like to think of AI as a tool. It's a tool to help us in various elements of our role. No different for me than Photoshop, AutoCAD, those kind of things that we now use, and we can use to make our lives kind of quicker, better, easier. But we can still incorporate some of the stuff we've done ourselves without technology, essentially, is
Yeah,
my
and
thing. So
and that's for the real connection, to keep the human connection alive,
yeah.
or maybe emotional level, maybe spiritual. Or how do you see that? Is that the thing we want to? That's why we stick.
Yeah, I think every designer as well is individual, and we all have things that we like doing over other things. So, I've got a very, very good friend who is also an interior designer, and she loves everything about customer service and giving everything to the customer. And for her, it's all about that customer service journey. So for her, it's okay, how can I use AI in some of the things that I am not so passionate about, and I want to still do that. I want that to be me, and that's become her USP. I mean, she's brilliant at it because she just has such a lovely way with dealing with customers and dealing with that. And I know we all have to deal with our customers in our role. That's what we do. But I think for me, it's about taking a look at the whole landscape of what you do as a designer. Look at everything holistically, every little interaction you do. And as designers, especially when you're running your own business, you're not just a designer. You have to do the marketing, you have to do the PR, you have to do the admin, you have to do the financials. So there's all of these other things. And as
Most of the
designers,
time that we don't like, yeah,
yeah,
because we want to design, we want
yeah,
to connect with our clients and all the rest. Yeah, we have to do it.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, it's about looking at your design business of what you do and saying, these are the things I love doing. I'm absolutely doing that, whether that is any part of the design process or it's, anything, whatever it is, social media, So because we're all creatives as well, there's other parts of our industry that we like doing that actually has a creative spin, isn't it? So, social media stuff and what have you. So whatever it is that you like doing, I would say look at that and kind of go, right, that's the stuff I like doing. Okay, what are the things I have to do that I don't really like doing? And can AI help me to do that so that that frees up more time for me to do the things I love, the things I'm passionate about? And I think AI can be used as almost an additional person in your business. I guess it's, again, thinking in ways to kind of phrase it. Quite a few years ago, probably, or maybe 15, 20 years ago, there was this thing of virtual assistants. And there were
Yeah.
people,
A
every,
VA. Yeah.
yeah, everyone had a VA because they helped with all of those things. It was a person, of course. And actually, again, I know a couple of people that tried to use VAs, and so for some people it worked, some people it didn't, because there's still that you've got to give it the information. You've got to give a person the information for them to be able to go on
Yeah,
and do that.
let me dive into that if I can,
Yeah,
Dawn, because a few years ago we had a VA. It
yeah,
was very successful because we had processes in place, and that's where the VA came in.
yeah,
So it means you already systemize the business. Somebody knows really easy what to do when what happens.
yeah,
That's a kind of flow chart you can design. Like, hey, if the
yeah,
client asks for this, if they get that, if they are there in the journey, you have to send them this and you have to say them that. And that was a very easy one. But now the same, when you have the same manual, this play rules, because
yeah,
ChatGPT can do the job.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
well, you have to pick up your phone, but you can hire somebody else to pick up your phone, so you can continue designing.
Yeah,
It's only maybe €2, $2, £2 to pick up a phone somewhere
yeah,
else in the world by
yeah,
somebody who knows your business and can inform you
yeah,
what happened. So
yeah,
this is exactly what happened. We had a VA for years, really cool, but now we have exactly the same, but maybe even better customer journey because of
yeah,
technology.
yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I think that's it. Again, it's the development, isn't it? And so for me, that you can use various types of AI for all kinds of aspects of your business, and one of those is like a virtual assistant. But exactly what you've said, you have to invest a bit of time in prepping the AI model, the AI bot, whatever it is. So
It's the same. It's the same with a person, right? Now
absolutely,
it feels maybe more frustrating that the computer is not listening. If you phrase it in a really old-fashioned way,
yeah,
the computer is not listening to me.
yeah,
No, you have to phrase it in a better way, better communicate with this person.
yeah,
Yeah, you can give it even a name, right? We do have
yeah,
some names in our company that are virtual persons in
yeah, yeah,
ChatGPT. It's
yeah, it's
great. You
yeah.
just say good morning, Lika or Laura, or yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. You can personalize it and make it. And
yeah,
in fact, some companies have done that. So talking about, and we go off at a bit of a tangent, but because it relates to the person.
yeah.
So I kind of regularly keep up to date with stuff to do with AI, and I'll explain kind of how I do that. But one of the stories I saw recently was about the Ukraine government have introduced an AI avatar to deal with their foreign affairs. Okay, so this is an AI bot that has been given a persona and an appearance, and essentially what happens is there are pre-scripted pieces of information. So the pre-scripted stuff has been written by people in the embassy and whatever. They've all been written by the government, but what they do is they then feed them into this AI avatar, and so then the AI avatar can distribute that information to lots more people. And in terms of, obviously, there's a lot of stuff about deep fake and all that sort of stuff. The way they've got around that is a QR code on it so that people can scan it and go to the transcript of what this AI avatar is saying.
Mhm.
But they have embraced that. A government has embraced it to use it as an avatar, as a person almost, that you can kind of listen to, and the avatar talks and, you know, delivers this information. So
It's a
I think,
great customer service because
yeah,
everybody can have their answer in a split second. We know
yeah,
the chatbots from shops, web shops. Sometimes you
yeah,
know I'm talking to a bot. I
yeah,
prefer to know that I'm talking to a bot and
yeah,
not a fake person.
yeah,
Just be honest about it. That's my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
Be honest. If it's a bot, it's a bot. But then people can understand that you react like an automation system.
yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
that's my thing. Transparency is key. I think you should absolutely always have that transparency. But just,
that's a human aspect, right?
yeah,
We
absolutely.
I'm afraid that's why people maybe are afraid that we are going to lose that you don't
Yeah,
know for sure. But I think it could be one of your core principles that you will always be honest about.
yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the more you use AI, you kind of realize that it's not perfect as well, and quite often it can get things wrong. So again, there's various things in the news about AI, about how it has got it wrong, and these things always then make the, you know, the social media rounds and all the rest of it. But there was things where I don't know which chat model it was. I don't know if it's Chat GPT or another. Kind of gave someone advice of smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes a day while pregnant is recommended. So again, you
Mm.
go, well, clearly we all know that that's not right, but that was, I don't know if that was Google actually. It was in the news because it was
It went
obviously,
viral for sure.
yeah, because it was crazy. There was another one where it told someone else to eat rocks, and then there was another one where it said to use non-toxic glue to stick cheese on pizza. And again, so you know, it gets it
True,
wrong. Yeah,
true.
it gets it wrong. Yeah. So there were always cases like that, but everything
Yeah.
gets it wrong. You know, like
It
something,
could be it could be another
a person
person,
gets it
silly
wrong.
person that said the same, and it could go viral as well. So I
Yeah,
actually there is no difference.
yeah,
They all make mistakes.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe there
absolutely.
will be a time that computers know it better than us, and that's another thing we can be scared of. That there are
Yeah,
computers that use their own language because our language is stupid. They
yeah,
literally tell us there's two supercomputers in the world, right? They had a
yeah,
discussion, and one moment they had to stop them because they invented a new language. They said,
yeah.
"Well, your language is stupid.
Stupid.
You
Yeah,
use
yeah,
too
yeah,
many words. We
yeah,
do understand each other. Let's come up
yeah,
with another language."
yeah, yeah.
Let's get back to the interior design world because that's what we are dealing with in a daily base.
Yeah, and
There
I'd
is
say
happening in all kinds of areas, just happening all this stuff. That to
yeah,
be that's what's going
yeah.
on. You
I
see it
think
in
I
every
think that's
area.
yeah, and I think that's probably just to touch on that, because we were talking at the very beginning about people's perception and whether it's fear based of AI, which again, rightly so. And I think it's that because when a lot of people think about AI, they think about exactly that example you gave, where these two supercomputers, you know, they're going to take over the world. We're going to be extinct because they're all going to kill us, or, you know, whatever else. It's this horrible kind of thing. And personally, I try not to think about that, because that's kind of a level, you know, it's a level above my pay grade, you know, it's that kind of, it's something I absolutely have no control of. But right now, what I want to do is concentrate on the AI tools that can help me as a designer. So I think it's valid for people to have that fear,
You can
but
yes,
I guess
we
it's
can raise
separating it. Yeah,
yeah, you can
separate them. Yeah,
raise your own AI
yeah,
person. It's like
yeah,
maybe a kind of child or employee or family
yeah,
member. That's how you see. You can raise them to be polite. You can raise them
yeah,
to be
yeah.
human.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It's a
the
bit like,
task.
in my house, I have a supply of gas that goes to my central heating and my cooker, and I use that as a tool
Yeah.
to for my benefit. If I thought about the implications of gas as a thing, you know, it's explosive. It could do all of these other things. The same with electricity, same with water, massive volumes of water, you know.
Yeah,
But so for me, I'm kind of like, I try and think a bit about it like that. Like those things are out of my control. Let me look at the things that can
great
influence my
example.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
this is a great example. We should be scared every day using gas, water, and
yeah,
electricity, and
yeah.
but we're not.
No,
It's part of our daily life, and it's really beneficial.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah,
So
that's
great.
my thing. So yeah, so I'd say that is the thing. And to also look at kind of AI, the different types of AI. So I just wanted again to touch on the different forms of AI. So AI
Yeah,
is coming into everything, every single aspect of our life. AI is coming into. So again, in regard to like news and stuff, it's everywhere. All of the big tech companies that you would expect, so Apple, Google, Microsoft, Meta, all the social media channels are all using AI. Um, but then others are as well, kind of like Nike, and obviously Elon Musk is right at there, kind of doing all sorts of stuff with that. But also it's used in other aspects, so like healthcare, to help diagnose diseases, and like I said to you, there's governments that are using it as well. So it's also about gathering a bit of an understanding of the different types of AI. So we have generative AI. So those are the types of things that can generate images. Obviously, that's the obvious thing for interior designers, is image generation. My background is generated by AI. You know, it can be used for all sorts of things, which for designers is great. It could be used for image generation, could be used for mood boards, concepts, social media, web, whatever else you can do. So you can, that's an image generator. You can obviously get the chatbots, which are a form of generation. Again, you put in something and it generates a response. And that is obviously the written word, which can be used for copy, for websites, again, social media content, but also strategies. You can put questions into chatbots. So you can, as you said, you could prime it, you can give it a name, you can ask it. So one of the things I've done with ChatGPT is I put in a couple of things where I said, imagine you are, so again, this is about role play, getting it to pretend to be a marketing expert, or you know, a web developer or whatever else. And I asked it, I said, imagine you are a social media marketing expert, and I need to reach, you know, a certain type of demographic. Give me a strategy, a social media strategy for advertising, you know, a workshop over the next few months. And I told it which platform, said over Instagram, and it gave me a whole kind of list of week. And I asked it to break it down week by week. So it literally gave me a content plan of, you should do this, and it understands Instagram, so it knew, do a carousel, do a reel, do a this, that, and the other. So it kind of gave me this whole plan, which as a marketeer, I work with marketeers in my day job, and it takes time to do that. It takes time to plan that out. It did it in a couple of seconds, you know, and you
yeah. And
kind of,
how expensive is it?
yeah,
How expensive?
that was the free version, so I don't
That's a
pay.
free version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use
See.
the free
Yeah.
version of ChatGPT. I don't pay. You can pay. So again, just for clarification for anybody that's watching and they don't understand, so there are free versions. So ChatGPT is probably the most well-known chatbot, AI chatbot out there, and in fact is probably the base model that lots of other companies that have created other chatbots probably use the data bank from ChatGPT as their base model. So it's kind of like in England we would say the Rolls Royce of chatbots. Essentially, you know, it's kind of the one that all others are molded on. And so you can get a free version of that, which is the one I use, and you can use it on your desktop and on your phone. So again, that's a great thing, because your chats and everything, your history of your chats transfers between different functionality for me. But you can pay for a version as well. Again, I don't do that. You get, same as everything, you pay for something, you get enhanced functionality with
Yeah.
it.
But it's good to
But
start with a free version.
start with the free,
Yeah.
that would be my advice. Start with the free version and think about, I mean, you could also ask ChatGPT, as an interior designer, what can I use AI for? And it will give you an answer. And it would probably say things like web copy or content or strategy or marketing plans, and
And
then,
this is the hardest thing
yeah,
that I had to learn, and I'm still learning, that there are questions in my mind, and I'm always like, why I don't ask ChatGPT?
yeah,
Why
yeah,
I'm having this stupid conversation and he's not giving me the output? I'm
yeah,
like, why didn't I tell this first? Why did
yeah,
I inform and give a proper introduction? You don't have to be polite if you want. You can do
no,
it really with bullet points. You
yeah,
can, well, if you want, you can tell them, well, I'm going to be rude right now, but
yeah,
today I'm mad and I want this and this and this.
yeah,
Give me a plan.
yeah,
Not please, just give
yeah,
me a plan.
yeah.
ChatGPT won't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's it. You don't have to add in. I
No.
think again, when I started, I would put in full sentences of and full paragraphs of what I wanted. And now I don't. I think it learns. So again, for people that don't know, you can with ChatGPT in particular, you can have your conversation, you can sort it and file it and give them titles. So I've got different conversations about different things. And the benefit of that is it remembers what you talked about before. So if you're asking it to create a social media marketing plan for you, if you keep all of the chat about that in one thread and name it, excuse me, each time you go back, it will remember what you said before. Bear me a second, I'll have a quick drink.
Yeah.
So
That's why ChatGPT, well, it remembers everything. You have a great file. You can go back to a previous chat, like
yeah,
we do for, to be honest, for the podcast. It's like, okay, last time we had a really good podcast introduction. Now I'm going to introduce, like I did today.
yeah,
I have your story.
yeah,
I combine that with my input, because for me that's very important to have my own input. Not that ChatGPT is not coming with the full scene
yeah,
yet, maybe
yeah,
yet. But
yeah,
it's, for me, it's like, okay, what do I want to tell? What's my connection? What do I know about Dawn? What is she
yeah,
giving me? And then you can literally tell, okay, now create a kind of introduction for
yeah.
that. And I want to stick to my words. So most of the time, the final version, it's not the thing I want. I just corrected and I said, this is my final version. And then ChatGPT compliments me about this fine introduction. And if I can give you some ideas or little, I say
Yeah,
yes, please. And then they come up most of the time grammatically,
yeah,
because I'm not a native English speaker. Everybody can hear that. So that's how it works with the English grammar. It's, yeah, it's quite wonderful. Let's get back to
yeah,
the kinds of types. You have image generation,
yeah. So
social media, communication, inspiration, mood boards. You have this sales and marketing, blog writing,
yeah. So
and
then,
there's
so
a
yeah. So I'm gonna say, so chatbots essentially can be used for, like I say, all a whole plethora of things. So just something I was just going to touch on about that to just kind of finish that off is that you can put information in. Also, what I would suggest, going back to what we're saying about priming it with the right kind of information before you get stuck in, something I learned kind of the hard way, a bit like you, where you put things in, you're like, it's still missing bits of information. One of the first things I would do is to put information into a chatbot to get it to almost create an avatar for you of your ideal client. So get it to ask you questions. You can say to it, imagine you are a branding expert or a PR expert or whatever. I want to refine my demographic of my audience. Help me do that by asking me 5 questions. And it will ask you 5 relevant questions. And once you give it the answers to that, it will then create kind of an avatar. But it's because it's Chat GPT, it's the written word, it's not a visual avatar. I mean, again, you could go and do that if you wanted to, but it basically creates a persona of who your ideal client is. And I
So
asked it to,
let's get back, Don, because you had a really powerful lesson here. You
yeah,
need to ask ChatGPT, what are the questions I can ask, and not, don't think about this. This is where it goes wrong when you
yeah,
get frustrated with ChatGPT. Like, what can I ask? ChatGPT that he understands what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, just tell ChatGPT, I do have doubts. I don't know what to ask you. What kind of questions can I ask you to get what I want? And this is my preferred outcome.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, Mark. And then, and you're like, oh man, again, I spoiled. Well, it's maybe you spoiled 2 minutes in your life on this
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
but imagine it's a big time saver.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think that's the thing. Again, people think that they just have to put something in, they have to know all the answers to put it in to get an answer
Yep.
out. And you don't. Absolutely
Yep.
ask it to help you ask it a question, yeah, which is again is that's for me that's the mind blowing bit, and they're the sorts of things that if you were having a conversation with a person to get to this, you'd be spending hours refining, oh well, what do we want to say, what do we want to do, this, that and the other. And
Yeah.
yeah, it takes seconds in chat gpt, and you can ask it exactly that. I don't know what to ask you, you ask me 5 questions, and at the end of the 5 questions you will then give me X, Y, or Z, whatever it is you want it to give you. And like you say, it will then go, okay, what is the demographic, or what is the age of your average client? What is this? And it
Yeah,
can ask you.
if you go in terms of the ideal client, because
Yeah,
that's really powerful.
yeah,
If you are an interior designer, you know your ideal client. I would suggest find your ideal client. You know
yeah,
who it is. We do
yeah,
have special questions for that to find out, but you can use ChatGPT, of course,
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Then you can have this character. You say, well, maybe they're around 40, they have a busy lifestyle, they have children. You can
yeah,
literally ask them, what are the 5 biggest benefits for my ideal client when they hire an interior designer?
mm,
And ChatGPT is telling you what is valuable for them,
yeah,
not for you as an interior designer, no,
mm,
for them. So if you tell them, hey, you have a busy lifestyle, I'll take care of the kids, that they have a beautiful bedroom, and hey, you want to spend more time like a family because I
yeah,
can imagine it's so busy around. You have this whole human story because it's so obvious. Most of the time, it's so obvious that you think, okay, this is why didn't I come up earlier with this story at the table with this person?
yeah,
Imagine it's just a friend you're helping.
mm,
You have the same story, or you
yeah,
are your ideal client. Most of the time, sometimes you help the same age, the same
yeah,
person,
yeah,
because you understand their problems, issues,
absolutely.
frustrations, dreams, desires. So it's going to be so easy, and you can act more human than you ever did before. That's
Yeah,
what's in my opinion.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't have my head working on what I need to say. I can just follow my heart on
absolutely.
what to
Yeah,
say, and
yeah,
that's for
yeah.
me, that's freedom.
Yeah, I think that it's that, isn't it? And I was just going to add to that that I also asked ChatGPT to give a name to my ideal client, so
Yeah,
that then in future conversations I just have to say, so my client is called Alex, so I just have to say, I'm thinking about doing a new social media post that will appeal to Alex. Tell me what it is. So again, I don't have to keep putting in my ideal client again. It's just a shortcut. You give it a name,
yeah.
the bot knows the name, and again, it kind of works with that. But yeah, exactly that. Like it helps you. It can help you be more human because it will think about all the questions you might not know to ask or might not think to ask. It can prepare you for client meetings. Exactly that. You could say, I'm going to a difficult client, and the conversations we've had before about this was their concerns before. I've done this, or what sort of things could I do or talk about or ask to work with that client, and it will give you some suggestions. And that for me, you'll probably find something in there that, like, oh, of course that was obvious, but I didn't think about it. So it's not always revolutionizing. It can be the little nudge, the little prod that you need to be more interactive, or like you say, more human with your clients. And it's just there as a tool all the time to just kind of keep helping you and reminding you along the way. So I think for me, like I say, it's invaluable. I think there's many other different types. So just going back to kind of the
But
types of AI, so there's the generative ones, which are those image generation. There's also now video generation, which again, kind of for me, takes everything to an extra level of like, wow, this is incredible. I was impressed with the static images. Now we have video, like,
Whoa, I never. Is it on the free version or the paid
yeah.
version?
So there's, I think it's called Sono or Suno. I'll find it. I can't remember the name of it because I haven't used it for a while. But again, you just put a prompt in, a text prompt, the same as you would anything else, and it will create a video for you. The when
Hmm.
I used it quite a few months ago, it was still a bit glitchy because it's new, but as with everything, it it develops. It's getting better and better and better. So there's always, all of these companies that do this are always creating new models. There's ones that create music. I found another one the other day that actually creates music. So you can ask it, I don't know, if you might be making a video of a client's house, and you might want your own original piece of music to
Yeah,
go
you don't have
over
to
it.
pay for it. Yeah, you don't have to
You
pay
normally have to
for.
pay for
Yeah.
that. So again,
Yeah.
in fact, I think that one's called Suno or Sono, but that you can, again, going, you can say, I want a piece of music that is classical, has violins, has strings, has this, that, and the other. I want it to be about, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, my client's house by the sea. And what it does is it gives you, the same as any other AI bot, it gives you two or three kind of different choices. But what that particular one did, it also gave you a load of lyrics. I mean, again, we're designers, we're not songwriters, but it gave me a load of lyrics that were really like heartfelt lyrics, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this
Mhm.
piece of
This could
music,
be
it was
in the top 40.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, it
Yeah.
was exactly what I needed for that time. So again, as a designer, you might need music for something, so
But
this, so this
you
or that.
said, you said, and that's the thing. You said, I'm not a songwriter. But on
Yeah,
the other hand, there are people that do say, I'm not an interior designer.
yeah, yeah,
And they're using the tools to design their house, home, office,
yeah,
hospitality.
yeah.
What's going on with that?
Yeah, I think um there's a whole lot of people that are great with AI and know how to use the tool. So let's, again, thinking about image generation as a particular one, and we'll create all of these fantastic images in AI bots because they know how to use the bot. They know how to prompt, they know how to put the information. So they get these fantastic images, but they're not interior designers, so they don't know how to implement it, or they don't know how to get that whole image. So I think there's a whole new breed of interior designers coming out that may be able to do all fantastic images and everything else, but not all of the rest of it. So for me, that strikes two chords. One, opportunity, because I like to see opportunity first. Is there an opportunity for designers who know all of this other stuff, all the stuff we've done as designers for years about the sourcing, the fabric sourcing, and the implementation, the project management, all of that sort of stuff, but maybe don't want to do the image generation through AI? Is there something there that could work? But so that's kind of an opportunity. Maybe is there a possibility to work and collaborate with these type of
Yeah,
people?
because then you're talking about practical skills,
Yeah,
and kind of proper education.
yeah, yeah,
That's yeah.
exactly. Yeah, which
That's
again for
copy.
me,
You can copy that. Somebody
yeah,
else or technology can copy that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and again that goes back to that kind of thing of some designers aren't great at AutoCAD, so they might outsource the AutoCAD bit. Some people may not be good at hand sketching or drawing or rendering, so may outsource the image generation already as part of their business. So for me, it is no different than that. But the more not dangerous is not the right word, but the thing that I find a little bit alarming for the industry is that some people, some customers won't necessarily know that a designer that creates all these beautiful images can't do all of the other stuff. So I think that's an opportunity again, really, for designers, experienced designers, to talk about all of the other things they do as a person as well. And I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the key thing, is everyone is talking about AI and what it can do. Some clients will know about AI, some won't, and it's about making sure consumers and customers and clients aren't fooled by someone that has all these lovely images but can't necessarily do all the other stuff. So I think that's where, as humans, we come in, and our experience as designers comes in, that we can do the whole thing for a client. We can do everything. It's not just kind of that. There's no substance to those types of thing.
I think what you're telling is it's even with ChatGPT, it's about the input.
Yeah.
We are focused on the output and the
Yeah.
beautiful images, and that's even the world people outside
Yeah.
people just see interior design as this beautiful image or picture or
Yeah.
environment, and some people don't value the real quality of a healthy,
Yeah.
well thought designed
Yeah. Yeah.
environment, what
Absolutely.
it can
Yeah.
do to you. And that's, well, we call this the beyond layer.
Yeah.
And if you master yourself to master the beyond layer, you can use all the other stuff that's
Yeah.
going to develop really quickly. You can use that to
Yeah.
do your magic, because if you put magic in up front, the outcome will be
Be good.
magical.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Be good.
exactly. Yeah, whatever you put into AI, if you put rubbish in, you get rubbish out. You put
Definitely.
magic and experience in, you'll get something out that is good as well. So yeah, so I think that is a key thing, that there are lots of people kind of using AI, and I guess that maybe ties back into some interior designers thinking that they're missing out, they're missing a trick, and they're going to get left behind. And I think
Now, is it?
I think if you don't understand AI, I think that's the thing. You don't necessarily have to use it. I think if you don't understand the implications it can have in the industry, then yes, you are going to get left behind, because it is moving at pace. It is moving constantly. It's always developing and evolving into, like I said, every aspect of our life, every industry, not just the interior design one. So I think for me, it's about choice. If you understand what AI can do and what it could do for your business, and what you could do to utilize it and maximize it, then you have a choice about whether you actually use it or not. So for me, it's about choice. And I think if you are not aware of it at all, or any of it, then I think, yes, you may get left behind, because there will be other designers using all different types of it to maximize what they're doing. Again, we talked about those that are kind of maybe not proper interior designers that are doing all this. And for me, people eventually get found out. The eventually the cracks start to appear, as I would say, that eventually, if you're not good at what you do, things start to show quite quickly. But I think as a designer, if you understand different elements of AI and what it can do for you in your industry, in your business, and you make a choice to either use it or not, then that's a very different thing. You're not getting left behind, because you understand, and you've made the conscious decision to go, I love doing this bit of design. I'm going to continue to do that, because then what that does is that comes across to your clients. It comes across in everything you do, that's
Yeah.
the particular area you're passionate about, and that then becomes your USP, essentially, doesn't it? And that's your kind of your thing that people love about you. So I think
I
it's that.
completely agree with that.
Mm,
Yeah, use it in your, if you are this designer with this beautiful handwritten sketches, and you have a big audience who's willing to pay you enough goods,
yeah,
very wealthy, for your performances, for your artist impressions, for your draw by
yeah,
hand.
yeah,
If they
yeah,
are fine with it, find a person who's going to create your designs that has all the technical stuff,
yeah,
to
yeah,
transform your hand sketch into a 3D model with all the measurements, AutoCAD systems, and the client doesn't care about these AutoCAD designs.
no,
Most of the time, we do fancy our processes and systems and mood
yeah,
boards
yeah,
and everything. This special cuts and three-dimensional views, and we're passionate about it. But most of the time, we found out over the years that's not what we're selling.
no,
We're selling the end result.
yeah,
What's when we are gone,
yeah,
and they have this beautiful designed office, hospitality, resort, home,
yeah.
then starts the real
Yeah,
experience.
yeah,
But
they
that's
don't
it's what we
remember
do.
all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
No,
absolutely. They don't.
no.
A client doesn't remember that. Exactly that. It's about the end thing. But as great designers, our job is to make that process up to that seamless for them and as enjoyable as possible for them, and reassuring. That's the other thing. It's reassuring, isn't it, that we know what we're doing and we're going to deliver what we said we were going to deliver. So
That's it.
I
Is it a live visit? Then it's a live visit. If they love mood boards, create a mood board with
yeah,
AI, without AI. If you even want to have a workshop with them and people love it to really paper cut stuff and
yeah,
print magazines, do it. But make it so powerful that this is becomes your own magic. That people
yeah,
know I have to go to that designer, that creative to get this. And
yeah,
on the other hand, I do love technology. I want a designer that's fully into AI, and I want it all digital.
mm,
Could
yeah,
be no
yeah.
prints, no fabrics in the hand, just digital.
Yeah, some people want that. And again, it's about adapting, and every client is different, aren't they? We all
Yeah,
have our ideal client, but uh, sometimes every client is different. So you don't always get the full combination of all of the elements you want for an ideal client. So again, it's about being flexible as well, of going, well, this client, like say, this client doesn't care about mood boards. They just want to see, a visualization, and they want me to just get on with it. Well, great. Then what tools can you use to do that? Or exactly as you said, another client might go, oh no, I need to see all the fabrics, I need to touch them all, I need to look at them, I need to see them in the light and all. So again, okay, spend more time on that, but what are the other things that you've still got to do that you could maybe get AI to help with, to speed that
that's
up?
it.
So
Yeah.
again, you can use AI for sourcing. There's companies out there that will provide kind of platforms where you can use them for sourcing, and they're AI driven. So again, when we talk about AI, it drives a lot of other things that we look at. So like your smartphone is driven by AI. All of
And
our,
how and what's the first? It's in my opinion, a smartphone is simple.
yeah,
Huh? That's the funny thing. It's so technical, but in
yeah,
the end, it's simple to use.
yeah,
And that's what happens with your business. If
yeah,
you are aware of what you can get, what you can do, what you can use,
yeah,
your life becomes more simple. You can do what you like to do, what you love to
yeah,
do most. And most of the time, that's what you do best.
yeah,
That's the funny thing.
yeah,
You do
absolutely.
really well. That's obvious. That's where you get happy.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the point. Like if you're working as a designer, you come into this and you find the things that you love doing, and absolutely, why would you not want to make more time to do those things that you really give that's your passion, that you absolutely love about the role and the industry. So yeah,
They need to fix the weak spots, right? Fix
yeah,
their frustrations, fix it once,
yeah,
and most of the time you just have minor tweaks
yeah,
and you're set
yeah,
with your
absolutely.
business, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. For me, like I
wonderful.
say, it's the tools to do everything. It can do everything. It's in every aspect. So do a bit of research maybe of where and what you can do. And what I would say, my advice would be exactly that. Find the weak spots, the things you don't like doing, and go, what is it there that I don't like doing? What can I do? Because if you just start searching for AI or AI tools, you're it's in everything. It is absolutely, like I say, it's in every industry, it's in every aspect of all of our lives now. So you would just end up in a black hole of kind of
Mhm.
confusion and all the rest of it. So I think if you think about what is the one thing I don't like doing, well then what can I do? And then maybe search for that kind of, how can AI help me with, I don't know, invoice processing or something like that.
Writing
And
emails, yeah,
right, yeah, whatever,
processing, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
whatever,
start with
yeah,
ChatGPT. Is
yeah.
that the
I'd say it depends what it is that somebody wants. So it might be about so it might be, let's say, the marketing campaigns. It might be I social media is a necessity, but I don't like doing it. I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to think about it. I just don't want to do. So exactly that. You could go to Chat GPT and go, what can I do? How can I do this? And it will give you an answer. But there's probably a tool out there. So as I said earlier on, ChatGPT is kind of like a base model that other companies that have created apps or different platforms will use. So there
yeah.
will also be some out there that are specifically for marketing. There'll be some out there that are specifically for sales. So for example, HubSpot do some really great stuff with AI for sales and the sales funnel. So my advice would be, find what is the thing you don't want to do, and then do a bit of, even if it's a Google search. Google also uses AI, by the way, but maybe
Yeah.
do a bit of a search
Yeah.
of what tools are available for AI and sales, and see what the apps are, see what the companies are that are doing it, because the advantage over those things, rather than just the base model of ChatGPT, is they've been refined for that process. So if we're thinking about not getting overwhelmed and not getting into things too deeply, maybe look at those kind of things, have a play. Nearly all of them will do a free version for you to kind of have a go at. Do a bit of research, the same as you would any other tool, the same as you would any other supplier, essentially, or any other support for your business. Do a bit of research about what other people are saying about it, have a demo, try it and see what it works. And then if that solves that little problem for you, then great, get it. And as you said, you use it and tweak it and refine it along the way. And then once that's kind of going, well, then you can find something else. What is another piece that I don't like
Yeah.
doing? And it's got to be, for me, it's got to be, you try the free versions first, but then ultimately you may end up paying for it. The same as you pay for an accountant, the same as you pay for web hosting, the same as you pay for anything.
And
But
it's way cheaper than a monthly payment.
exactly, way
Definitely.
cheaper than a person, of course, and an employee. There's a whole load of other things there. There are pros and cons to both, of course, but
Yeah.
obviously it's got to be return on investment. That's the key thing, isn't it? Make sure you're getting a return on investment, if that's time as well. So it's freeing
Yeah.
up 3 hours a week. For me, I'm not doing social media marketing anymore because it's freeing up 3 hours a week to do that. Great. What are you going to spend those 3 hours doing? So I think that's the key thing for me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dawn, for being so passionate about sharing your industry expertise. It already started that way. Like, wow, she's on fire today. But yeah, you kept going. I think you can talk the whole day, the whole
Oh
week
yeah.
about AI, and well, you cannot catch up because it develops so quickly. So
Yeah,
you can
keep
stay
going.
talking there, keep going. But this is how we shape the future of interior design together.
Yeah,
So use the tools. You had some wonderful takeaways and lessons to well, in the end, it is there to keep our lives simple and
yeah,
easy. And if you look at that way, that it is going to ease your life, well, use it, try it out, and
yeah.
yeah, some tiny investment up front in time, in efforts, and maybe frustration about how to find out how it works. But if it works, it's
It's great.
automation.
Yeah,
It frees you up. It keeps your business simple, and you can do whatever you love to
yeah,
do. And you don't need a big team of people involved in your business. You can design the most beautiful ideas and stay small, huh? If you don't want
yeah. I
to
think
have the ambitions to grow with a full team in your interior design studio. So
again, it's
thank
choice,
you.
isn't it? It's make the choice of what you want for your business and look at it, and don't compare yourself to others. It's about you as a designer and your integrity and what you can do to make your life happier and make your clients' lives even better.
Yeah. Well, if you connect with Dawn, Scott, even more, you can go to the podcast description. It's there. There's the link. You can connect on her with, well, on LinkedIn. She's quite active. So please do that. And to find out more information, the replay of the video, you can find there. So, well, you've heard Don Scott. AI is not only reshaping our industry as a tool, but it is fundamentally altering our understanding of space, enhancing our skills, and impacting our field. And hopefully, we've shed more light on AI today, helping you form a better opinion about this extraordinary world. Whether you're inspired to dive deeper into AI or still waiting its implications, remember that staying curious and informed is key. Don't forget to tune in next time as we continue to explore the beyond the design world. And until then, keep pushing the boundaries and exploring new horizons. To your success. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
Don.
Bye.